Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Doodles. Now, last year I did a studio tour at the back end of 2015 and basically showed you this room. Nothing has really changed in the last year. In terms of my studio room, I'm still in the same place. But I thought I would try and make it a yearly thing, so it's getting to the back end of 2016. Whether you see this 2016 or 2017, I'm not totally sure. But I figured we'll go through some of the gear that I've got now, basically show you where all the magic happens. We're actually going to start off in another room. We're going to get straight into this. We're not going to really mess about because there's a lot of gear to show you. But we are going to go into this. I've got a spare room next door to my studio where basically crap goes. Basically all the bits of gear that I have no room for in my studio that I use often go in. So I'm going to spin the camera around now and we're going to show you a few little bits. So this is basically just where all miscellaneous crap goes in the house. There's only two of us live in this house and it's 3 bedrooms. So we've got a bedroom, studio, and then this. There's my NES Mini that I got for Christmas. I did a unboxing and a ranked episode for that one. I've got a vinyl player there which I will be reviewing very, very soon. This is my demo table with a lot of Star Wars stuff in it. You'll see a lot of Star Wars stuff kicking about throughout the course of this video. I just noticed there's a Lost Prophets album there. That's been there since, well, you know, that happened. There is my brand new Hide jacket, Hide from X Japan. It's not the official one from Japan because they didn't make it in my size. This is actually a custom ordered replica of his jacket that he wore in his later years with Spread Beaver. Very cool. I've wanted one of these for ages and it actually came on Christmas Eve and I was super stoked about it. I've just washed it just to, I don't know why, I just sort of washed it before I start wearing it. Obviously it's been in transit from China for a very long time, so I just took it through the wash. But anyway, this is my studio lights. These are obviously the things that you see all the time. This is basically what makes my lighting a hell of a lot better when I'm doing my green screen stuff. Such my episodes are ranked and my covers and that. Marshall code box, just a few of the miscellaneous bits of crap. There is the actual Marshall code. Obviously you see that a lot of the views on my channel came from doing this amp. Having a lot of fun with it, and I know you guys are loving the videos and expect more of them in the future. Just moving them out the way. We have a Fender Mustang guitar amp there, modelling amp, 15 watt. I had that for quite a while. I've never actually done anything with it on the channel though. There's just a few boxes. There's a PV Viper box, a Vox VX1 box, some guitar cases. I think there's a Gibson Epiphone box there. A case, sorry, that's a Gibson bag. But that's pretty much it in this room. This is just where all the crap goes that I have no room for in my studio. I've got a few bits which I've been meaning to put on my studio wall. I've got like one of those director's things. I've got a Star Wars canvas there, which will be going up in my studio very soon. However, I've been saying for about a year that they're going up. So right now we're back in this main studio. This is where all the magic happens. I just wanted to show you some of that gear, even though most of it doesn't get used much, stuff like the lights and that obviously I can't store in here for space reasons. But we'll start off from, we'll go clockwise. This is my green screen, well, it's my blue screen. You guys see this all the time. This is where basically I use as my backdrop for my covers, my ranked videos and all that sort of stuff. So very basic. It's actually 2 bed sheets from Tesco, just sort of nailed together. That's all it is, just a bed sheet. So very simple if you want to do something like that yourself. I also have my hat that I wore a lot in my early videos, whereas now I have the beanie on, the Pokemon beanie, and that's the sort of dreadlock wig that I use. During my history of rock, I was sort of, when I was doing the Guns N' Roses stuff, I stuck that on just for a laugh really, and it sort of just stuck around. Right, this is sort of my non-musical related geek corner of the studio. I've got a recliner chair there which just kind of just sits there and does nothing. It was a nice chair and it was going to get thrown out if I didn't take it, and I love these type of chairs, so I took it and I can't use it, so it just sits and does nothing. We move out the way. We've got all my games and DVDs there. We've got Xbox 360, Xbox One, we've got some PC, some Wii, GameCube, DVDs, wrestling DVDs, there's some books down the bottom. I've got some 3DS games, not all my 3DS games, just a few. I've got a Mortal Kombat Scorpion figure that came in an arcade block. I've got the special edition Mario Maker Mario Amiibo and the special edition Twilight Princess with Twilight Princess Wolf Amiibo and special edition soundtrack. I've also got the special edition of the Smash Brothers with the GameCube controller thing. I've got the signed Rest for Poor CD signed by Fluff, Jared, Tony, Vince, Josh and Jared along. I've got a couple of boxed amiibos. I've got the rest of my amiibos there, and I've got my Pop vinyls. As you can see, more Star Wars stuff. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I really, really am a huge Star Wars fan. I've got my planner. This was meant to be used to sort of keep me on track, so I knew what I was meant to do. I sort of set myself goals every day, and then I was going to try and achieve them, and I eventually got bored of doing that. But I should really use it because I was more productive with it. But if you notice it in any videos, that's exactly what it is. It's basically just my planner, stuff I want to get done on the day. I've got a couple more posters there which need to go up. There's a GTA 5 poster and a really cool Joker one. Hopefully you guys will see them soon. I'll get them out, but I can't bother to put them back up. There's my tripod that I use for all my videos. There's a Dunlop wah pedal just sat there doing nothing. This is one of my main guitars. This is a 2014 Gibson LPJ vintage Sunburst. Absolutely beautiful guitar. It's got the Gibson 61 pickups, which are like a hotter version of the 57s, are one of my favourite pickups. Those pickups just raw. It's so nice. See, Gibson LPJ. Turn them back, 2014 model, exposed neck, which I like. Unfortunately, I did smash the output jack. It still works, but I can't. I've got to have the guitar jack sort of hanging out of the guitar, a bit annoying. So I don't use it as much at the minute. I'm going to get it repaired though. That is one of my main tasks at the start of the year. I'm going to spend a lot of time fixing up guitars rather than buying new ones over the coming months, sort of get everything in order. But now on to the things that everyone actually cares about. These are my guitars. This one first is a Schecter Blackhawk with a custom Mass Effect paint job. This guitar is actually strung up left-handed. This was what I was using in my Can I Play Guitar Left-Handed series that I did, which I never got around to finishing. I believe it's a 2005 model. I think I picked this up for about 70 quid or something. It was 60, 70 quid. It was fairly cheap. Whether I get around to using it again, I'm not totally sure. This is a Yamaha Pacifica 1998 model that I got just after Christmas last year. It had a faulty wiring and I never got around to fixing it. It's very nice, so natural. There's a few dents in it, but that's the beauty of these type of guitars. And I really like the wear on guitars as well. But I'm hoping to fix that up in the new year because I really want a Strat. I haven't really got a Strat, so that is going to be my Strat guitar. Very nice guitar. And this next one is my Epiphone 1960s Tribute Plus. Very nice guitar. Mahogany body, maple veneer, Gibson 57 pickups, mahogany neck, I believe, rosewood fretboard. It is one of the nicest guitars I've played. It completely blew me away. And it sounds absolutely fantastic. You've seen this in a lot of covers, especially back in the day. I mainly use Schecter now, but you do see this one from time to time. And it is a very nice guitar. I believe this is either 2012 or 2013, made in China. I'm not totally sure what the year is. I can't remember, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, this is my Epiphone Les Paul Standard. This was actually the second guitar I ever got. I think it's a 2004, but I got it back in 2005. In ebony, very nice. This guitar has been with me through every live performance I've ever done. So this has a lot of history with me. However, it was beat up to hell, and I decided I was going to give it a complete rehaul. I sanded it all down, took all the shine, or most of the shine off the guitar, because the ebony ones look very plasticky. I gave it a lot more of a rough look. I swapped the pickups out for Iron Gear, Hot Slag and Roller Mill, which are very similar to the Seymour Duncan JB 59 JB Jazz setup. I've got a kill switch in here. I've got a few of the bits and pieces I need to do with. I need to adjust the truss rod and just do a few of the bits and pieces, and that will be back to being a fully working guitar. And I love this guitar, so I can't wait to get it finally done, and I'll get back to using it in videos. It is absolutely fantastic. One of my favourite guitars to play, and I can't wait to use it again. Up next is a new addition that I don't think you saw last year in the original Studio Tour video. This is a 2005 Gibson Les Paul Jr. The Les Paul Jr. was a dream guitar of mine ever since the American Idiot album came out. I always wanted a Junior. And I got this in January this year. Absolutely fantastic guitar. You've seen it a lot, especially in like Blink-182 and some of the sort of Green Day stuff. I have used it from time to time. Unfortunately, it doesn't hold tune very well. It's one of the major downsides of it. So I'm going to get some new tuners for it in the new year. And hopefully start to see it very soon, more and more on this channel. But I absolutely love this. Absolutely dream guitar for me. And one of my favourites to play. Just unfortunately it doesn't hold tune very well. But if I can fix that, then I will be using it a lot more. Up next is a Schecter Banshee. This is a Schecter Banshee with Floyd Rose and EMG 8185 pickups. Unfortunately, I don't really like this guitar. The guitar is beautiful, it plays really, really well, but I just can't get on with the Floyd Rose trem system. It's just not for me at all. I sort of wish I got a hardtail, but this did start my love for EMGs. I'd never used active pickups before I got this guitar. Now I use pretty much EMGs and majority of the stuff that I do. But this is fantastic. Older body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard, EMG 8185, Floyd Rose. I'm probably going to be selling this soon. I was going to do a review of it and then sell it, but I may have a buyer lined up for it, so it might be gone soon. So unfortunately, I can't do a review of it. It's got one little tiny chip on the headstock there, which is a bit annoying. I don't even know how it happened. It just did. But if I sell it, I will probably end up buying something I'm going to actually use. So although I'll be sad to see it go, if I get something I'm actually going to use a lot more, then that's going to be sort of a bonus for me. I'd rather do that than have this guitar gathering dust, because it is too nice to gather dust. It's just unfortunately the Floyd Rose isn't for me, so for that reason I don't really pick it up nowadays. Up next is my Schecter S1 Custom. This is one of my newer editions. I actually traded my 2013 Gibson LPJ for it. This is a Schecter S1 Custom, absolutely beautiful guitar. This has the Seymour Duncan Custom and 59 pickups in it. Mahogany body, I believe it's a mahogany neck as well, ebony fretboard. The S1 is without a doubt one of my favourite guitars shapes of all time. It's so light, it doesn't weigh that much at all, but it just plays great. It's like a Les Paul that doesn't hurt your back after extensive play. And I absolutely love it. It's just a joy to play. It's an absolute pleasure. And I find that this is probably the second most played guitar that I own. If I'm playing the heavier stuff, I grab my other Schecter, which you'll see shortly. If I'm playing anything sort of rock standard, E flat, drop D sort of thing, I use this guitar pretty much all the time for that. Absolutely fantastic. I'm going to probably put some hotter pickups in it, because the custom is sort of a medium output. It's good for general rock stuff, for anything sort of metal, it doesn't really have the output needed. So I'll probably put some, either a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge, or maybe an Iron Gear. I haven't decided yet, but I will be putting something in, hopefully in the new year. So you'll be seeing a review of this one, and obviously the pickups, whichever I do. But up next is my bass. Unfortunately, the G string broke very, very recently on it, which is a pain in the ass, but I really mean to change the strings for a while. So yeah, it's only a 3-string bass at the minute. It's just a very, very cheap Westfield bass. Just one of those sort of cheap brands that you get. I believe it was like £100 or so about 5 or 6 years ago. My dad got me it, and it sort of just sat and gathered dust and did nothing. But when I started my channel, it was an absolute godsend to have this bass sat there, it's obviously ready to go. So you hear this on everything that I do, every song that I do. This is the bass. It plays nice. It actually is a really nice playing bass. The only problem is the pickups are a bit naff. I could just get a new pickups for them. Who knows, I might actually do, because I do really dig this bass. Despite it being really cheap, it just feels really nice to play. And if it didn't feel nice to play, I would have got rid of it a lot sooner. And the fact that I've been using it for like the 2 years that I've been doing this channel, almost 18, 20 months, says that it is actually a pretty decent bass. Just hopefully get some new pickups in it, and I'll probably just keep on using it rather than buying a new bass. And up finally is my number one guitar. This guitar you see, it pretty much came out of nowhere, and you pretty much just see this alone all the time on majority of my videos. This is a Schecter Damien Solo Elite. I got this in a trade for a Marshall JCM 900 head. I'd never played a solo, I knew nothing about the guitar, I just traded it and it's become my number one. This is it. Despite the fact that it looks black in most of my videos, it is actually blue. It's obviously when I'm using my blue screen, it does sort of cancel the blue out, so it looks black. But this is mahogany body. It's another one with an exposed maple neck. Rosewood fretboard, EMG 8185 pickups. This is set up in D standard or drop C sharp, depending on what mood I'm in at the minute. But this is probably my main guitar. I absolutely love it. I believe it's a 2011 model. I believe it is, but this is my main guitar, bolt-on neck, absolutely fantastic. Like I said, you see this in pretty much everything that I do. But if I'm not playing this, I'm generally playing the S1. They're my main go-to guitars now. Along with my LPG, I do pick up that as well. But I'd say them three are my main guitars. But this is without a doubt my number one. This time last year, I'd only just started using AMG pickups, and now I use it for pretty much everything. So yeah, that is my guitar collection. Hopefully it gets a little bit bigger, despite the fact that I'm not meant to be buying guitars now. I'm trying to sort of save up money. But I love buying them, so no doubt if we do one next year, if we do a studio tour, there will be a lot more guitars, hopefully. But now on to some other stuff. So here is my MIDI keyboard. This is a Elasis, I don't know how to pronounce it, Q49. I think it's a 48 key keyboard, or 50 key or something, I'm not totally sure. Does the job. It's a MIDI keyboard. It does exactly what it says on the box, and it does it well. There's a wireless keyboard, there's a Elgato game capture. On the wall, I've got a Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech transcribed in that picture. I've got a Star Wars canvas, and I've got a Stormtrooper that came from a Battlefront advertisement from Tesco, actually. The sort of the advertisements that they have in store, I basically took it and just cut the Stormtrooper out and stuck it on. I've got a TV mounted on the wall for some reason. That doesn't actually work, but whatever. I've got another TV which I use when I'm playing games. I've got my speakers here. These are M Audio BX5s. I've got a set of them there. Very cheap and cheerful, but they do the job perfectly fine. And basically that's what I'm using when I'm mixing or anything these days. There's my interface. That is my Focusrite Scarlett 8920 USB interface. Absolutely love that thing. I've got my monitor. This is actually a 40-inch TV. Just a general everyday TV. Just I use it as a monitor. It's fantastic in mix. I'm actually listening to Extra Pan as I am recording this. But if I load up Reaper, you basically see this is a massive screen, and it's an absolute joy to mix on because it is just so big. It's absolutely fantastic. I've got a picture up there. Guitar Heaven with loads of different guitars, iconic guitars from the likes of Slash, Zakk Wylde, Keith Richards, Van Halen. So right, on top of my interface is, well, so as you can see, oh sorry, my chair's really squeaky. As you can see, massive 40-inch TV. It's an absolute pleasure to mix music on. It's so good. But on top of this, I have my Soundbrenner pulsating metronome watch, which I did the review on, which you can check out on my channel. I've got my go-to picks that I use. These are basically my everyday picks. I've got the Dunlop Tortex 1.5. I've got a 2mm. I've got the Dunlop Jazz 3 XL. I've got a Dunlop Ultex pick. I have a Nylon Jazz 3 XL. And I have a Fernandez Hide signature guitar pick. They're basically my go-tos that I use, and I basically keep them there just so I can grab them whenever I need them. I use them for all my recording. I have a pick tin, which is literally just full of other picks. That's just full to the brim of just guitar picks of all different types. Dunlop mainly, but there's quite a lot of different ones in there. I've got a Apple Mac there. Just move that out of the way. I've got a Apple Mac that I use for my uni course, mainly because I need to use Logic, but it's got an i5 processor, 2.8 GHz, terabyte hard drive, 8 GB of RAM, and I have a HDMI splitter which connects up either my PC or Mac, depending on which one I want to use. Does the job. It absolutely works fine for what I need it for university, but I do personally prefer using Windows when I'm making music outside university. And that takes me to my Windows PC. This is a custom built PC. It has a i5 4670 3.4 GHz quad core processor in it, 16 gig of DDR3, I think it's 1866 or 2133 MHz RAM. It's got a MSI Z97 motherboard and a AMD R9 270X 2GB graphics card. Because I don't really play PC games, I am more of a console gamer. It's got a graphics card if I do need to play, but I don't really do that much. Under here is miscellaneous cables, XLR cables, power cables, etc. I've got a DI box there, and I've got the Vox VX1 amp that the amp was in the other room. This cupboard is mainly just for business stuff, invoices, receipts, and all that stuff like that from my previous business, and a few music things, invoices and stuff like that. Just all the bits of stuff that we don't need to go into. It's basically just paperwork. Is all in that cupboard. We've got my microphone connected up to my interface on a arm. This is a T-Bone. I believe it's an SC450 microphone, condenser microphone. I use this for my talk and stuff, whether I'm standing in front of my blue screen or just sat here at my desk. That is my voiceover microphone. Cheap and cheerful, it's about 30 quid, 30, 40 quid I think it was. Does the job absolutely fine. And perfectly fine for what I need it. This is the newer NW700 that you saw in the review video not long ago that the arm came with, but the T-Bone microphone was better, so I just started using that. This is my other straw of wonders. Here's my Blue Snowball microphone. Here I use that for my voiceover stuff until recently when I switched over to the T-Bone. This is my Blackstar Fly 3 portable battery powered. That's the cab for it. This is the amp itself, battery powered amplifier, perfect if you just sat in the garden or something like that, or you're on the go. Sounds pretty damn decent actually. I used to use these as studio monitors because I'm so cheap. It actually works really, really well. But yeah, pretty cool, bang for the buck, portable amplifier. It does get its use from time to time, especially in the summer. And in here is just miscellaneous bits of crap, guitar parts. There's like, I think there's stuff like pots and controls and stuff like that in there. There's loads of random bits of crap. That is basically my junk tin for guitar stuff. I've got my Fender cable, which I use all the time when I'm playing guitar. So right, this is my miscellaneous crap drawer. This is my other drawer where everything goes. This is a T-Bone MB75. This is basically a Shure SM57 clone. It's not bad. It does the job when I need it. I don't really record amplifiers because I've got to be quite quiet in this place. So I mainly use bias effects when I'm recording. Actually, that's what I'll get into. I'll get into my computer a little bit more in a second. That's basically if I need to record something as an SM57 clone. It does the job, but it doesn't really get much use. Right, and then up next we have, this is just the case that the T-Bone microphone came in. It's got a shock mount there. Nothing exciting. There is a iRig if I want to use my guitar on like an iPad. I've got a few cases. I've got a Behringer tuner in there, a few CDs, various different strings. I've got Rotor Sound, Dean, Markley. I've got some dovetail strings. I've got some SIT strings in my other room. I forgot to show you them. Just a few of the bits and pieces, some Fender strings, some Diodario strings, and there's some SIT strings as well. Just basically, this is just where all my stuff goes, all my strings and all my bits and pieces that I might need. Some more dovetail strings there. So yeah, that's basically just my miscellaneous drawer of crap. That is just where all the random bits go. But I'm just going to quickly show you a bit more of my computer now. So right, back to my computer. I completely forgot to sort of go into detail about this. I mainly use Reaper. I actually just use Reaper all the time for my recording stuff. I use bias effects for pretty much everything that I record. I also use plugins, various plugins, a lot of tune track stuff. I've got Easy Keys, there's Easy Mix, Easy Drummer. I use Easy Drummer for my drums guitar rig. I used to use a lot, but now I just use bias for everything. I've got the Torpedo, Water Sound, 2 notes. I've got some plugins from Wave. I've got Sonic Academy Synth, which I use for my synthesizer stuff. I actually got that for the Infinite Desolation soundtrack. It's really good. But yeah, apart from that, I pretty much just use the stock Reaper plugins for my compression, my EQ, and I just use the stock stuff. I pretty much just use Tune Track for my piano, my drumming, and I use Bias for the guitar stuff. And I've got a few free things. I've got DSK strings that I use for like violin, stuff like that as well. Very basic, it's not a very complex setup that I've got in terms of studio recording. But I think that's about it for this studio tour, so I think we're going to wrap up this video here. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Like I said, very low quality. I've got usually internal microphone and there's no obviously studio light or anything. That's basically a look at just the stuff that I've been gathering over last year. This is basically my setup at the minute. Hopefully we can make this a yearly thing, and hopefully we can sort of see the progression between last year and this year, and then this year, next year, etc. And who knows what guitars I might have this time next year. Hopefully a hell of a lot more. But only time will tell. But that note, that is the end of the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed this little studio tour, be sure to hit a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time seeing this studio, you want to see what goes on in this studio, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on all my future videos. And my name is Doodles. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.